Okay guys, I'm back in the garage to work on the Galant. I broke it recently back in April at the drag strip. Broke the rear axle, center diff, got it fixed, welded the center diff, and then I ended up, transmission ended up not working out as good as I hoped. It kept getting stuck in third and fourth. Went ahead, found this one on Facebook. Thank you, Mike. Shout out to Mike for getting me this. I got a really good deal on it. It's pretty much a fresh rebuilt OEM transmission. And then I also got a spare transfer case for when that day comes. When I break one, I have a spare backup. But that's it. I just unboxed it, so it's time to go over on how to swap out the transmission, how to remove it, and how to reinstall it. Okay guys, hope you guys liked the video. Okay guys, just wanted to go over it real quick before I start. Obviously remove the wheels, jack it up, probably remove the intercooler piping to get to the transmission a little better. I plan on moving the shift linkage shift linkage bolts, sorry. Trying to see what else. Goes some more bolts that'll have to get removed, the bolts around the transmission. The bell housing bolts, the transfer case is also another one, which is down below. I think there was, let's see at the spare one, 4 or 5 bolts that hold it in place. Can't remember exactly. I watched Turbo Tom's video recently to help the motor mount. I think Turbo Tom moved it from right here on his Galant. I haven't decided how I want to do it. But yeah, removing the axles, draining the transmission fluid. Gotta remove the starter. I'm trying to think. Shift linkage, all the cables, and the transfer case. And forgot what he called it. It's I can't remember, but this bar right here I believe has to be removed. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that. Pulled it out into the driveway so I have some space in the garage to keep it semi-organized. There goes the Sentra. The head's been pulled off. Motor's out of the car. Next I gotta tear apart the block. So but that's later, and I'll probably still a little behind on those videos. But today is August 28th, and it is time to fix the Galant. goes the driver's side axle. Remember, there's this bracket. I'll show you guys what I was struggling with. But there's this bracket, it has two 14mm bolts that go through. I believe there's a spacer that fell, and I think it went to this back side. Pretty sure, because it's got a little groove in it, so pretty sure that's where that went. You have to take off the axle nut, 32mm. There's a washer behind it. Obviously, you got to pull the cotter pin out first, then the axle nut, and then there were these two bolts that go through, or whatever. This one's probably the bottom one, actually. Yeah. Those bolts went through. 17mm nut on the back side, and there it is. That shoot. Think about it. Think about the axle holder. The bracket was back here on the back of the block. I was able to squeeze through between the exhaust and the transfer case. I was able to fit my hand through there. But that's one axle out. I'm gonna go repeat it on the other side. Remember, axle nut, the two bolts here. Pull this back. This was zip tied up onto the coilover. I had to break off the zip ties so I could lever this part down to get the axle out. So now I'm gonna go knock out the other side, and then I will come back. Okay guys, wanted to give a quick update. There goes the transfer case. It is out. Let me move it aside. Let me show you the spare. So you got to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bolts to get out the transfer case. It sits on the transmission. Let's see. Facing this way. Just like that. So you're getting the bolts out from this side. Okay. And like I said, those are the 5 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All 17mm. Also, before you get to that brace that you see is held on by these 3 bolts, 17mm, and then that is a 14mm, and the one in the back, let's see if I can zoom in, is also a 14mm, and that holds up that brace. So next we'll be removing this and trying to think what else. Everything else is pretty much cleared up under here. And that bolt, I think the rest of it will be up top for the most part. So I'm gonna go ahead and start unbolting these and then jump to the top and see what's next. Okay guys, so I took off the shift linkage. It was right here. That bracket right there, and then this came right up here with the cotter pin, so I removed the cotter pin, slid this out, undid this bolt, these 2 bolts right here, and then back here I removed those. So now these are free. I undid my ground, which I do sell grounding kits for this chassis. There's a sensor. Let me see if I can get it. Sensor right here. And then back here, it was the 2 starter bolts. One was there, one was further down. down there. 2 bolts up high. Another bolt, let's see, right there. And then, I'm not sure what this is. Speed sensor maybe? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe. But I had to remove this. So I loosened that, which went right there. And then the 1 bolt in the back. So now, I got to do the mount. And then that's it. It's done. Should be done. Hopefully done. We'll see. Okay guys, so I made it pretty brief on how to remove the transmission. I think I'm going to stop here. I'm getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. I think I'll end the video like this. You guys need to let me know what you guys want to see in the videos, what I can get better at, and I will improve. But there goes the transfer case that came out of the car. I'm still going to use it. That's the spare. That's the new transmission. I've already moved over the throwout bearing. What else did I move over? I laid the motor mount over here for now. Let's see. The bolts for one of the brackets. The other brackets. It's still on the old transmission. I moved this sensor over already. It's right here. This little plug looking thing I moved over. Other than that, I think that's really it. I think I'm gonna now get this one rebuilt as a spare transmission eventually. I need the funds, but that's really it. Oh, this little bolt right here, I got caught up on that and I bent that little metal spacer. I accidentally bent it because I had no idea this bolt was there. So if you're removing your transmission, don't forget about that. Let me grab my camera and show you guys the engine bay. Grab my flashlight. Clutch is old. I'm honestly debating on replacing the clutch. But yeah, it's out. It's one of the sensors. You have to thread out. Grounding kit's hanging there. Another grounding kit wire right there. That goes where that little bolt was. Connected right there. You can see where it's a little bent. Right there. Don't forget about that bolt. But I will have the Galant running soon. Guys, don't forget to subscribe, like the video. Also, don't forget that I sell grounding kits for multiple chassis. It's down in the description box. Go check it out. That helps me out. And share the video if you guys can, and let me know what you guys want to see, or how you guys want me to show these videos better, because I can improve. Today I just had my Sony camera. My GoPro 5 is full of content. My 3 has a bad memory card, and my Hero 2 needed to charge. So that's why I could not use the GoPros. I just had to use my Sony today. But next video for the Galant will be, after this one, will be how to install the transmission, so backwards. And hopefully with those 2 videos, that will help you guys do it yourself. But thank you guys. Subscribe, like the video.